Welcome to the Breakdown, recorded for October 8th, 2020. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world right now and give you my opinion on stories you may not have heard about. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below. And if you're new here, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It really does help us. And if you enjoy stories like this, follow me over on Twitter, LukeBK. I'll put a link in the show notes for even more news and interesting stories that don't make it into the videos. All right, let's get into it because a lot's happening in the world. Starting off with McDonald's, not to be outdone by Taco Bell, is adding their own menu items. McDonald's has announced they're adding 3 new breakfast menu items, including apple fritter, a blueberry muffin, and bringing back their cinnamon rolls. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like the classic late 90s, early 2000s cinnamon rolls I absolutely loved, but they are bringing back cinnamon rolls. Now, you may be saying, Luke, they had cinnamon rolls. They've had them on and off their menu for a while, and they've even been testing it out in a few markets. Now it's going nationwide, and they keep changing this. I still think they should go back to the original cinnamon rolls, but I'd love to know what you think. Do you have any favorite McDonald's item that's been taken off the menu that's now coming back? Leave me a comment, let me know. Or one you would like to see them bring back. All right. And next up, SpaceX. Now, they've been very busy working on expanding their satellite internet business, launching equipment for military and government organizations, and even the Dragon capsule bringing astronauts up to the International Space Station. Well, Elon Musk's SpaceX is not to be outdone, as they now have a new contract to build a missile defense tracking system for the Department of Defense. So this satellite system will, in theory, be able to track any missiles being launched around the world and be able to track where they're going, hopefully before they even get there. Now, we've seen regional systems like this where we can set up ground-based stations to track missile launches and weapons. And in theory, some of these equipment can even predict where a bullet will hit before the bullet actually gets there if it's within range of the sensor. But this is going to be a much larger space-based system to make it easier for them to track them, be aware of them, give timely and accurate warnings to maybe facilities that may be coming under attack, and give them some time to react before the missile actually gets there. I find it absolutely fascinating and intriguing that a system like this can be built, and hopefully it continues to help bring a much needed advantages out there. So fingers crossed, we'll see. No exact date on when this will be rolling out, but it's now in the works. All right, a oldie and a classic is now dominating movie theaters. With most major blockbuster movies being delayed until 2021, Disney decided to re-release the 1993 Hocus Pocus into movie theaters. Yes, in many areas, if you have a movie theater that's open, it is available to watch, and it dominated U.S. box offices with $650,000 last Friday. Now, on a normal year, $650,000 in ticket sales is good, but it wouldn't be anywhere near dominating the box office, especially this time of year. But with everything happening and the lack of movies, that's the big one. So I find this interesting. I may be trying to bring up my daughter. Let me know, are you a big fan of Hocus Pocus? Are you excited to see it back in movie theaters? It is right now. You can check that out. Link in the show notes if you want to learn more and see if it's available in your area. All right, number 4, pre-cut watermelon, apples, and other fruits are being recalled from Walmart's. Yeah, so the FDA has issued a warning of contamination on these pre-cut fruits that were sold at Walmart's in Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Texas per the FDA. So you have these, you can bring it back for a refund. If you want to learn more, see if you are affected, link in the show notes. Now, this is stuff that's already been sold. If you walk into the store right now, all you're seeing on the shelf has been cleared, and that's part of the system. So unfortunately, a lot of this clears through this, you take it home, you eat it quick. But check it out in the show notes if you want to learn more, see if maybe you were affected by this. Link in the show notes down below. All right. If you're going to try to rip off the federal government, naming your fake businesses after Game of Thrones characters may not be the best idea. A man has been charged for trying to steal money from the payroll protection program that program that came out over this late spring, I guess we'll call that, where you could get money if you have a small business to keep your employees on your payroll during the pandemic. Now, as expected, a lot of this was fraught with fraud, and especially since it was managed by small banks. So instead of the federal government directly making the loans, the federal government gave the money to banks, who then could turn around under certain criteria and give these loans to businesses they worked with. Unfortunately, some businesses decided to take advantage of this that didn't need it, both large and small, and some people made up fake businesses. Now the federal government's been cracking down on these. They've been tracking down on them and have prosecuted quite a few people, including this one, which I thought was interesting. If you go and name a fake business, don't name it after something like a Game of Thrones character. I don't know. To me, it seems like you can come up with something a little bit more creative that may not stand out so much on paper. Let me know. If you were naming a fake business, what would you do it as? Leave me a comment. All right. Speaking of the federal government and detention centers, Oklahoma's detention officers are being charged with cruelty for torturing prisoners by cranking up Baby Shark on repeat. Apparently, an Oklahoma detention center was keeping their inmates in line by cranking Baby Shark at a very high volume repeatedly. Now, playing annoying music or that kind of stuff is not unheard of in these kind of states. Areas. It's not necessarily meant to be an enjoyable one, but apparently they loudly cranked it, repeatedly played the same song over and over, and according to prosecutors, that has crossed the line into torture, by torturing them to listen to Baby Shark. Now, any parent out there who has kids right now will probably tell you Baby Shark is pretty much torture, but it is interesting to see that it's actually being charged at a federal level. It'd be interesting to see how this plays out, this holds up. And details will probably come out later where we can learn more about this, because I'm always sure there's more to these stories than we hear when they first come out. All right, and the next story up, deputies in Louisiana have charged in Florida, a Louisiana man went to Florida, met with an underage girl, and lived in her bedroom for weeks with her parents living there, and has now been charged with assault and underage. I find this very interesting. You often see stories like this, right? Somebody was discovered to be living in a shed or in an attic or somewhere in a home. That person didn't know about it. This time it turns out that this person was being hidden in the teenage daughter's bedroom and is now facing criminal charges. As a parent, you're like, how could that happen? But it's actually surprisingly common that you see these. Not that long ago, I think it was in Oregon, we had a woman who spent several months living in a man's attic, and it was only discovered after a few months. Think about how often do you go in your attic, for example. So let me know if you ever had somebody sneak into your home or live in your home. I don't know. It seems weird to me as a parent, but apparently it can happen. All right, so a few things real quick. Thank you to everybody who is new here. Thank you to everybody who's followed me over from the other channel. We have seen great growth in the channel. I'd love to hear from you on the direction of the channel right now with all the changes we've made. You probably notice a lot more content. I can't guarantee you we're going to maintain this same rate of content rolling out in the weeks to come, but we're going to try to continue to produce a lot more content like this and like more topical episodes where we break down a specific topic or a specific set. I'd love to know, is there anything you'd like me to talk about? We're definitely taking suggestions. Leave me a comment down below on any of our videos. Send me a message on Twitter. I'll love to hear from you. I definitely take them into consideration. Now, if you like this channel and you're new here, again, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do. Hopefully we can help you learn something new. As we continue to grow this channel, we work hard on it. These things take a while. And it can be very tough. It took 6 years for my other channel to get to the point it was. And I actually think we're doing a little bit better this early on compared to where we were with that other channel. So I'm very excited about it. And that really comes down to you. So real big, huge thank you to everybody who's following me on Instagram, on Twitter, who's following me everywhere. I appreciate it. So I just wanted to send out a little thank you and let you know I'm going to continue to work very hard to try to improve the show, do things slowly but steadily to get better and better. One of the things I always say at Core Cars News is we're going to try to be better every day. And that's a mentality I want to bring here after I've sold that previous site. Now I'm here. I want to try to be better a little bit every day. Continue to kind of learn what you enjoy, develop the content, and make it a better for you. So that's my commitment to you. I want to say thank you for your support. All right, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you next week with more breakdown content and a huge thank you to your support. So take care, be safe. Hopefully the weather is half as beautiful as it is here in Michigan. It's just a stunningly beautiful late fall week. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate your support.